Hi, I'm Chris Dornoff. I dairy farm in Tasmania off the southern tip of Australia. I'm involved in a family business that involves my parents Ian and Jenny, who have been farming for 50 years, my wife Lynn and I, who have been involved in dairy farming for nearly 30 years, and my son Nick and his partner Rebecca, who have just recently joined our business.
I'm Nick Dornoff, as introduced by Dad, and in conjunction with my partner Rebecca Tyler, we're the managers of Gala farm you can see here today, and these are our herd of cows that are the lucky participants in AMR technology.
My family's farming history goes back to 1964, when my parents Ian and Jenny left desk jobs in Launceston and working in an office and decided to go dairy farming with absolutely no farming experience. So they took a dive into the wild blue yonder. They bought a farm at Multima, and over the years we've grown that to 4 dairy properties, which now milk a total of 1,300 cows.
I think Dad and I have always had a fascination with robots. Using robots to milk cows in Australia probably is still a naive technology, unlike the European market where it's certainly a mature technology. I think the first robotic farm in Australia was in 2001, and I think the results are quite obvious in Europe, is that robots can milk cows. There's no doubt about that. Really the challenge for us in Australia is adapting robotic milking technology onto a pasture-based system and trying to also utilise voluntary traffic around.
A conventional dairy farm in southern Australia on a pasture-based system involves generally having the dairy in a central position on the farm and laneways radiating out to all areas of the farm. To encompass the AMR technology on Gala, we have decided to set the farm up in 3 distinct grazing areas. The reason for this is so that we can have the cows traffic to and from the dairy to 3 distinct areas of the farm at different times of the day to encourage 2 to 3 times a day milking without actually having to go back to the area that they've already grazed, and we think that's going to be critical to getting voluntary cow movement.
And certainly there is an ageing population of skilled dairy farmers within Australia. We certainly hope that these forms of technologies can sort of, I suppose, redefine the role of the new age dairy farmer as such and start attracting some of my generation back into dairy farming.
One of the reasons why we've chosen to adopt this technology is what we perceive as some lifestyle benefits that might come from it. I think they will evolve over time. We're seeing a few of them now. The life of a traditional dairy farmer with a conventional milking system involves early mornings, not a particularly pleasant working environment, and a long day by the time he does the second milking in the evening. So what we're hoping is that this technology will allow us more flexibility with our lifestyle, which will provide us with a situation where the cows are being milked by themselves and we only go to the dairy premises at certain times of the day to deal with the issues that need dealing with, rather than being tied to the dairy for long periods of time. About 2 years ago we were approached by Delaval and the local Delaval dealer Agritech, who are looking for someone to take on this pilot farm project. Now, we're a family that loves a challenge, so we were courted by Delaval. We had a trip to Sweden, we had a trip to Sydney to check out current installations that were more prototype than commercial, but we were able to see the technology and were impressed with it. And so we turned the first sod for this project in March 2011. On Gala, we're currently milking 250 cows. We have plans to move towards 600 cows in a full voluntary system over up to a 3-year period, depending on how everybody and the equipment and the animals adapt to it.
When we're utilising these forms of technology, we really start to understand how truly intelligent the cow is. Conventionally, we look at cows and how the way we manage our farm as an average. This technology really pushes individuality back into dairy farming, and it really is mind-blowing to see how intelligent cows are and how quickly they do adapt to these forms of technology.
I think our cows have been the real stars of this process. They've adapted more readily than the humans in a lot of ways, and certainly it's been a very easy transition.
During this process, one of the major changes that we've encountered from our transition from conventional farming to robotic technology really is that it's such a calmer form of dairy farming, and that being at the cow level and also at the operator level, which certainly makes the whole dairy farming experience a lot more pleasurable and sustainable.
We're so excited by this technology that we see it as becoming commonplace in the next 10 to 15 years, and I think it will be the preferred form of milking dairy cows. If we look back to when my father first started dairy farming, the changes in the 40 or 50 year period that he's been farming are astronomical, and I don't see change stopping now.
We certainly believe that profitability in the Tasmanian dairy industry is certainly going to be, in the future, really looking at efficiency at the cow level as resources become more finite and expensive, whether they be land, cows, inputs, feed, and also the result of a carbon tax maybe being applied to agriculture. We certainly see the technology and data that we can get from automated milking systems such as the AMR vital to really pushing forward in efficiency at the cow level and incorporating some sustainability back into the dairy industry. We really are excited about the challenges that lie ahead and the benefits and opportunities that are going to arise through the adoption and evolution of this technology.
And we've been thrilled with the input of all of the parties involved with this project, which is Delaval, the local Agritech Delaval dealership, Future Dairy, and our family have all had a very close and rewarding working relationship to this point, and I see it continuing in the future.
Certainly we have no regrets of where we are today, and even if we could get taken back 3 years, I don't think we'd change anything for the world.